Welcome to the construction site. I am your chief architect, and today you are stepping into a high-rise exam construction workshop. We're designing this specifically for the Cambridge AS and A-Level Arabic 9680 syllabus. Look, in this explainer, we are tackling an absolutely massive high-tariff project. We're talking about the final task. It demands a summary plus a personal response, all packed into about 140 words. Now, I want you to completely shift how you think about this. Think of this 140-word limit not as a restriction, but as a strict, non-negotiable zonal law. You literally have to build a skyscraper of an argument on a very tight plot of land. That means every single sentence must be load-bearing. There is absolutely zero room for decorative fluff. So today, we're going to teach you how to lay down an unshakable thesis foundation and erect arguments that will easily withstand the ultimate seismic event, the Cambridge grading process. Okay, let's dive into this because this warning comes directly from a Cambridge senior examiner and it should absolutely be setting off alarm bells on your site right now. They report that the 140-word summary task is notoriously misunderstood. You see, students look at 140 words and they think, oh, that's just a quick, simple paragraph, no problem. It is not. It is a highly engineered text block that requires multi-stage analysis. We are going to fix this misconception right here, right now, by showing you exactly what the examiners are actually looking for. We're looking way past the paint and wallpaper, straight into the academic steel of your answers.
So here is the schematic layout for today's masterclass. First, demystifying the final task. Second, the theoretical architecture. Third, the procedural framework blueprint. Fourth, critical analysis and evaluation. And finally, top examiner warnings. This is exactly how we'll build your academic foundation from the ground up.
Phase 1, demystifying the final task and setting the foundation. Let's get to work. Before we can start building, we really have to survey the land. Why do students find multi-stage analysis and method marks so incredibly difficult? Well, it's usually because they approach the exam like two amateur builders I like to call Alex and Sam. Now, Alex is the kind of builder who just shows up to the site and starts stacking up these unorganized factual bricks. They literally just dump every single piece of Arabic vocabulary and text comprehension they know right onto the page, crossing their fingers and hoping something holds up. Then you have Sam. Now, Sam focuses entirely on flashy exterior design. We're talking beautiful, poetic Arabic phrasing, but Sam completely forgets the load-bearing sentence structures required to actually answer the specific prompt. And the reality? Both of these approaches lead to a total structural collapse under examiner scrutiny. Moving on to Phase 2, the theoretical architecture. This is where we start laying the groundwork. To survive those really rigorous marker reviews, we absolutely have to move away from the Alex and Sam methods. Notice the contrast we're dealing with. The syllabus actively penalizes what they call superficial breadth. Those are Alex's unorganized factual bricks that just eat up your word count without doing any real work. Instead, the assessment framework heavily prioritizes analytical depth and cross-topic connections. That is your load-bearing structural integrity. The principal examiner reports explicitly state that candidates who demonstrated connected conceptual understanding and who referenced cross-topic relationships are the ones who achieve significantly higher marks. Your 140 words need to be a tight, interconnected matrix, not just some sprawling pile of random facts. Now for Phase 3, the procedural framework blueprint. Let's move to and see how this 6-step build actually comes together. Let's look at the actual construction methodology you are going to use on exam day. This is the precise 6-step procedural framework pulled directly from the Cambridge source materials. I want you to imagine mapping out your structural skeleton on a digital grid overlay, right there on your exam paper. Step 1, deconstruct the question. What is the prompt actually asking you to do? Step 2, extract the relevant data from the stimulus texts. Step 3, select your analytical framework. Step 4, execute with clear notation. Step 5, verify your results. Ask yourself, does your personal response logically follow the summary you just wrote? And finally, Step 6, present everything with the correct terminology and formats. During this step-by-step build, you have to carefully balance your assessment objectives. AO1 is your knowledge, right? Those are your raw materials. AO2 is your understanding. That's your mortar. And AO3 is your analysis and evaluation, which is the steel rebar holding it all together. If you skip even one of these steps, your 140-word tower is going to lean, and it will eventually fall. So the crucial point here is understanding the method mark strategy. Method marks are literally your ultimate structural safety net.
Cambridge rewards you for demonstrating the correct analytical process and logical steps. So let's say your final evaluative conclusion is just slightly off base, but your 6-step build was logically sound and your workings are clearly visible in your drafting or your structure. Guess what? You will still salvage massive points. The examiners want to see your architectural plans, not just the finished building.
Phase 4. Critical analysis and evaluation. It's time to start stress testing the frame.
All right, before we stress test our frame, hold up. Site inspection. To fortify your academic foundations and get weekly structural grade upgrades, you need to subscribe to Ace the Exams at the handle @AceTheExams right now and turn on all notifications. Consider it your continuing education for exam engineering. Okay, inspection over. Let's get back to it. Imagine our builders, Alex and Sam, have hit an unexpected structural crack mid-paragraph. They stated a fact from the text, but it's just sitting there, not actually doing anything. This is where I have to step in as chief architect and hand them the Peel matrix. Point, evidence, explanation, link. You absolutely must weld your evidence to your analysis flawlessly. Top-scoring candidates stress test their text blocks by doing a few key things. They identify the limitations of the evidence, they question underlying assumptions, they consider alternative interpretations, and they evaluate the effect on their final conclusions. Let's actually do a live audience diagnostic right now. Think fast. Test 1. Could you extract the primary metric from a dense Arabic stimulus text in under 60 seconds? Because you have to be exactly that quick to save enough time for your personal response. Okay, test 2. Identify the flaw. If a student writes a beautiful 70-word summary, but their 70-word personal response introduces completely new arguments that are not tethered to the original text at all, what's the structural gap? The gap is a complete lack of cohesive integration, and that causes a total mark drop in AO3. You must connect your personal evaluation directly back to the limitations or strengths of the summary you just wrote.
Moving to Phase 5, top examiner warnings. Welcome to the final site inspection. Before we hand over the keys to the Cambridge grading team, let's walk through this matrix. This is built directly from principal examiner reports. These are the top 3 structural flaws that cause these academic high-rises to collapse. First mistake, using the wrong approach for the context. The fix, you must match your analytical framework to the specific stimulus text provided. Second mistake, forgetting format and presentation. The fix here is imperative. Verify that you are using the correct academic terminology and sticking to the precise 140-word format. Third mistake, generic, unspecific answers. The fix for this one, you must anchor your logic to the exact context of the Arabic passage. Do not just write some pre-memorized essay. Write a custom response tailored to the unique blueprints right in front of you.
And this brilliantly illustrates our most critical site hazard warning. Always show your working. Seriously, this is a high-energy alert. If you hide your process, if you don't clearly signpost your logical steps, you completely destroy your method mark safety net. Make sure your transition words in Arabic clearly show when exactly you are summarizing, when you are evaluating, and when you are concluding. You have to let the examiner see the bolts and beams of your argument.
To ensure this architectural blueprint is permanently memorized, the source material suggests a really specific directive. Create a custom memory hack acronym for the factors affecting the final task. Look, when exam pressure hits and that clock is ticking down, a simple, punchy Arabic acronym is going to help you instantly recall that 6-step procedural framework. Don't just rely on your raw memory, rely on engineered systems.
So let's quickly recap the 3 rules of sentence engineering we've learned today. Rule 1, anchor everything to the specific context. Rule 2, weld your evidence using the PEL matrix. Rule 3, stress test your assumptions by showing your analytical workings. Listen, to keep getting these masterclass blueprints, you must subscribe to Ace the Exams at the handle @AceTheExams. Click that notification bell right now and leave a comment below with your specific subject and level so we can design the next workshop just for you. Get out there, practice those past papers, and engineer those sentences. If you apply these rules, you won't just be writing Arabic, you'll be constructing an unshakable academic fortress. So the final question you really have to ask yourself before you step onto the exam site is this: have you truly stress tested your 140 words, or are you just hoping the building doesn't fall?